Hello everyone, welcome to Stampin' Grotto. Today we are going to be creating this Let It Snow card. So I used the Joyful Flurry Stampin' dies and matching dies, so the Frosted Flurry dies and the Joyful Flurry stamp set. I also used some Sweet Sorbet cardstock, some white embossing powder, Versamark ink obviously, some Sweet Sorbet ink, and some white ink as well. So let's get started. Okay, so we are going to start with a basic white card base. So this is cut to 8.5 by 5.5, and we scored at the 4 1/4 inch to make a very basic card base. And then I am going to use 2 pieces of Sweet Sorbet cardstock. One, we are going to stamp this kind of falling snow background, and then the second one we're going to use to stamp in Versamark ink these cute little snowflakes, and then we're going to use some white embossing powder and heat set them to create these kind of popped up snowflakes. So we are going to grab, this is the falling snow kind of, I'm not really sure what you would call it, but I'm going to call it falling snow stamp from the Joyful Flurry stamp set. And then I'm going to grab my white stamp pad, and so to create our background I am just going to lightly ink up my stamp and not pushing down too hard. I am going to just stamp all over the entirety of this piece. Now we will cut 1/4 inch off both sides once we're done, but I want to get these stamped first. Once you're done stamping the whole piece of cardstock, we're going to go ahead and let that dry because this is pigment ink. So we'll set that to the side, and let's go ahead and work on our snowflakes. So I am going to take my little embossing tool here, and I'm just going to make sure I've kind of covered the whole piece. And then I'm going to take my Versamark ink, and I am going to ink up my 3 different snowflakes. So I'm using this very large one and then these 2 kind of smaller ones. So there's 1. There's 2. I don't know if you can really see those. And there's 3. I'm just going to grab my white embossing powder. And I am just going to cover my snowflakes. Remove the excess. Perfect. Get this out of the way. I'm going to grab my heat tool and warm it up. I'm just going to go ahead and heat set these. And then we're going to go ahead and die cut these out. So I'm just going to grab the matching dies for all of these. So now we have these beautiful little die cut snowflakes. And I'm going to go ahead and pop these up on some Stampin' Dimensionals. So I think for our purposes, one in the center of each should be sufficient. So let's go ahead and cut this down. I'm going to cut 1/4 of an inch off either side. So I'm going to grab my card base. I'm just going to grab some of my liquid glue here real quick. And we are going to just glue that down kind of centered on the card. And then we're going to grab our 3 die cut snowflakes here, and I'm going to put my large one kind of here in the center. I'm going to put this one over here in this corner. And I'm going to put this one down here just like this. Get rid of our little bits. And then I just went ahead and stamped the Let It Snow sentiment from this same stamp set. This is stamped in Sweet Sorbet, and I die cut it using the die from the matching die set. And we're just going to go ahead and pop that up as well on a couple of dimensionals. And then we're just going to set that kind of in the center. And then I'm just going to grab some of my rhinestone basic jewels, and I am going to put a couple of these on my card. So I'm going to put a larger one here, and then a larger one here. I'm going to put a medium one kind of over here, and then another one here, and a small one just like that. And there you have a very, 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 very pretty, easy card. And you can do these in just about any color. So I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. And as always, if you are interested in seeing more, don't forget to click on that subscribe button. Thanks, everyone.